Hi, how's it going? Welcome to Horror Movie Massacre, the Horror Syndicate. My signal's already dropping, it looks like. So hopefully it'll hold out. I'm starting to think it's this what I'm using. So welcome to the show. Tonight we are going to try and discuss the two Amityville movies, Amityville Horror 1979 and Amityville, well, here you go, the Amityville Horror from 1979 and Amityville Horror from 2005. One is better than the other. One sucks. One does not. And Seth will be joining us momentarily, but before Seth joins, my signal looks like it's getting weak already, so that's cool. Happy birthday! Lucio Fulci would be 98 years old today. If you are a fan of the Fulci films, please drop a like for us. Hit the heart, hit the fucking like, hit the ha, hit the ho, all that bullshit. Fulci is responsible for films like Don't Torture a Duckling, Manhattan Baby, Zombie, of course, The Beyond. Well, his whole Gates of Hell trilogy is great. You got City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery. And he's just the godfather of gore is a good name for him. So long live Fulci, Fulci lives, all that good stuff. Seth, how many Fulci movies have you seen?
I don't remember.
Not enough. That's
Yes.
the answer. Not enough. You've seen Zombie, you've seen City of the Living Dead, and The Beyond, I believe, right?
Yes.
Which one of those three would you think is the best?
I'm really gravitating towards City of Living Dead.
Depends on the day for me. It's either The Beyond or City of the Living Dead. Um, Connectivity issues continue to plague me. I don't know how it's coming through now. Hopefully,
You've been coming through fine for me.
okay. Well, the thing is, like, next to how many people are viewing, it shows those three.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
keeps every time it shows it, it freaks me out.
Yeah. That pops up all the time for me too.
Yeah, but it's like showing just the dot, and then the other three things are like gray. I'm like, oh, god damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, Seth, how are you? I got the document. I've yet to read it because I can only read it from my phone, which is damn near impossible. So I need to figure out a place to put it so I can read it bigger. Uh, how are you?
I am doing well. I am glad that you got the document,
Yes,
and
the document.
just know that it's not like it's just rough outline, uh, character ages, and certain dates for
Oh,
certain times of events are not set in stone because I gotta do the math.
I just realized my lights aren't on in here. I'm just keeping them off. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm gonna see if I can like save it on my phone and then send it to I don't know, Facebook or something. That way I can download it on here or my laptop and read it. You emailed it to me, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
fuck. I didn't realize. Yeah, I can fucking, yeah, never mind. I'm dumb. The document will be read. Uh, Thanks to the email. So by the way, I bought my Superman shirt, the Corn Sweat Superman T-shirt today. Amazon has them on sale for $16. I'll look at you. Take that other shirt off. You got Batman and Superman.
all
Face
right.
them off. Plus, I want to see you take it off. Oh yes.
Nope,
Keep
no
going.
skin.
Keep going. Come on.
Now
I need
the
more.
unfortunate thing though is I fucking stained this shirt because I work in an auto salvage yard and
16 bucks. Get a new one.
I was moving like a part and it leaked like
That sucks. Get
from
another one. 16 bucks. I got a navy blue one. Mine's a navy blue because I'm literally, as Age of Film says, I am the Dark Knight. Anyway, so yeah, we're so basically tonight we're going to and Seth and I aren't like vigorously in love with either of these movies or anything like. I mean, I do love the original movie, but we've been wanting to do these kind of face-off type movies like John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. And why not do the Amityville Horror from 1979 and Amityville Horror from 2005? And please, absolutely, let us know in the comments which one you prefer, and comment along if you like what we're saying. Hit the like button, please. If anybody's out there watching that, hit the like button, subscribe button. We have finally passed over 2,000 subs. It happened while Seth was live last week. Thank goodness. The king of the werewolf YouTubers helped us get over to the 2,000 hump. So we will get into that in a minute because, of course, as always, our very first comment comes from Sean Sheridan. The next one's from a Scott. And he says, Amityville, never seen the original, not a fan of the remake. Sometimes I'm like, I warm up to him, and then he says shit like this. Why have you seen the original? But you've seen the stupid remake. Come on.
And he's seen the Amityville Moon.
Right. He watched that?
Yeah, that was part of his comment.
Sean, I didn't see that. Sean, get your shit together, man. It's cold in Melbourne, Australia. What's up? Freaks. Smash the like button. Thank you. Ready to talk some Amityville. And
I've talked to you about that ages of film. You don't have to smash the like button.
Smash some shit like that. Just
gently touch it.
Gently tap it like a clitoris. Boop, boop,
There you
go. I prefer the original personally. I never felt the urge. I feel the urge to rewatch the remake, but I could watch the original a couple times a year. I agree. I watched the remake last night. Did you get a chance to rewatch the remake?
Yeah, I just got done with it.
So it's fresh in your mind. Did you catch him and kill him?
You know what? I like that aspect of it.
I hated that. So we'll touch on a couple things. First, let's set everything up a little bit. Of course, the Amityville Horror is based on true events, where George and Kathleen Lutz moved into a house where Ronald DeFeo, Butch, killed his whole family while they were sleeping. Which I know you're doing that gesture, but I'm also curious as to how nobody woke up amidst the gunshots. It was a dark, stormy night.
I think the thing with that was that because of the storm, because of the loud thunder and lightning.
Well, there's also the curious case of his sister Dawn helping him and then him turning on her. So there's a lot to that story. But anyway, a year later, the Lutz family moves in, get a great deal on this old colonial, whatever they call them, house. It's a gorgeous house. It really is. And did you know the windows that face the street, that's actually the side of the house. In the remake, they made that the front of the house. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, the driveway, it's weird. Like, if you look at 112 Ocean Avenue, which I think they've changed the address since, but, like, it's right next to the neighbor's driveway, and the front of the house is, like, not facing a road, which is bizarre to me, because most houses, the front of the house faces the road, the front door. But anyway, George and Kathy Lutz moved in, and they were there for 28 days, and then 28 days later, 28 years later, it's coming out this weekend, they left all their possessions behind and moved out. So they said that the walls bled and things moved. There was a ghostly presence, blah blah blah. So Jay Anson wrote the story, The Amityville Horror, and eventually it was turned into the 1979 film, The Amityville Horror. And I saw this movie as a youth, probably 10 or 11, so around 1991. I really liked it. I had fun with it. And it's always been one of those horror movies for me that is like a staple in my collection. I'll always have a copy of the Amityville Horror. It's one that I can watch numerous times throughout the year, and I just like it a lot. And Seth prefers the 2005 Jump Scare-polooza remake.
Yep.
That there's a lot of things I don't like about this movie, and I'll explain why. And what we're gonna do is talk about the strengths and weaknesses of both movies in our opinion, and then I would say we could figure out which one's better. But it's painfully obvious to everybody but Seth that the remake is not good. It's terrible. So I saw that shit in the theater. I was like, oh, I like Ryan Reynolds. He was in I think, was he in Blade yet? I think he was in Blade 3 at that point. Maybe
Yeah,
not. I could be wrong.
yeah.
But he was in, Van Wilder and a couple other things. I was like, I like him. He could be good at this. And I saw it, and I had the same sinking feeling I had from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from '03. I was angry because I loved Amityville Horror. I hated that shit. It's complete garbage. I've never upgraded my DVD. I did buy it on DVD because I had to own it. But I'm surprised you like it, honestly, because it's not good. Seth has to pick the original because it's got his girlfriend Lois Lane. True. You're going against Lois. The real story of Amityville Horror is loosely based on a crazy story, man. Some dark shit went down. Yeah, there's a lot to that, but I don't want to get too deep into the Amityville legend, if you will, which every owner after the Lutz family has never had any incidents.
Wow,
Coincidence?
it's almost like the characters in the beginning of Amityville 3 were stand-ins for the Lutzes.
Yeah, stand-ins for the Lutzes and the Warrens, who everybody knows because of the Conjuring movies. They are charlatans. The thing is, like, some people believe in ghosts and the supernatural. Some people don't. Some people sit on the fence. I kind of sit on the fence. Sometimes I see things that happen that I can't explain, and other times I'm like, it's bullshit. In the case of the Amityville Horror and the Lutz family, I think they found out about the house being for sale. Oh, that's where that guy Ronnie DeFeo killed a bunch of people. Let's move in and act like all this weird shit happened to us and we can get rich. I think that's exactly what happened. 100%. I
Yeah,
also think George Lutz was an abusive asshole, from what it sounds like, and we'll get to that a little bit. So, what I want to do in this, Seth, is I want to talk about each movie, and then I want to compare and contrast the couples, and then compare and contrast George, which is played by, of course, Ryan Reynolds in the 2005 movie, and the wonderful James Brolin in the 1979 movie. And I say wonderful because I've always liked James Brolin as an actor. He's really good. He's a good one.
yeah.
So let's talk about the Amityville Horror, 1979. Which one? The 1979 version. So why I like this movie a lot is and I mentioned it last night when we were talking about how I enjoyed that they brought the religious aspect into it a little bit more than the other one. But it's less is more rather than showing all these jump scares and all the weird shit happening. It's more implied or used. It's used off screen rather than in your face and like jump cuts and shit like that. But it's not just that. I feel like you get to, and of course this is a half an hour longer, but you get the feeling that George and Kathy are very much in love, and I think Margot Kidder and uh, James Brolin's relationship in this movie, they have a lot of chemistry. Like early on, you can feel that they've got a lot of chemistry in the movie, like especially when they're looking at the house and it's really great. Plus, I think the kids in this movie are much better than the kids in the remake. The little girl, I can't ever remember her name, but you get little moments with her that are way better than Chloe Grace Moretz in the 2005 version. Like the time she's playing outside and the two boys are picking on her, and she tells them, she's telling on them and tells her dolls, "Don't be a smartass." And of course, I love the scene where she's sitting there talking to Jody, who is not a little girl in this. She's a demon pig, which is weird. But she's talking to Jody, and the rocking chair is moving, and then suddenly Margot Kidder comes in and it stops. Or the scene where the other thing, because you can compare a lot of the scenes. The babysitter scene is so much better in this versus the remake because the girl's not a complete piece of shit like she is in the 2005 version, which of course is Scarlet from GI Joe. Uh, I forgot her name.
Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols. Yeah, she's awful. She's like, I'm a bad babysitter. Yeah, you are. I mean, she's telling the kids about what happened in their room. Who does that? But I liked how it's just the babysitter and the girl because George and Kathy are at a wedding, and she gets locked into the closet, not be on some bullshit dare or something like that, and she can't get out, and her hands are bloody, and she's crying, and we don't know how long she's been in there either. Like it seems like because they flash between that, her getting locked in the closet, and George and Kathy at the wedding, and George talking to the caterer, and you get back home, and it looks like she's been in there for hours, and that's fucked up. Meanwhile, the little girl is just sitting out there, and Jody won't let her open the closet. Where in the remake, it seems like it goes by a lot faster, and she's not in there as long. And besides, it felt like, well, you deserve that because you're kind of a cunt, straight up and down. You know, I also like watching, and we're gonna compare and contrast James Brolin's performance as George and how he doesn't just turn into a fucking prick like Ryan Reynolds, just turns into a complete dickhead. Like Kathy should have just left him. He devolves and starts going mad, where you don't see that in his character in the remake. Like there's a scene on the very last day they're there where he had been up all night because you heard like one of the stories that George, the real George Lutz, talked about was you could hear a band playing like as if it was in the living room, and that happens towards the end of the movie. And George goes down there, and all the furniture has been moved aside and put away. So he puts the rug back out and gets the furniture back out, and then he just screams, "I'm coming apart!" after he wakes up. And I fucking love that scene. Plus, he's got these mysterious bite marks on his ankle. And James Brolin's performance is like legit in this movie. Um, but there's a lot. I really love Margot Kidder in this also. Margot Kidder, we all know as Lois Lane, and she was in Black Christmas, but she's good as Lois. But man, I love her as Kathy Lutz in this movie because she's kind of along for the ride, and she also tries to figure things out and trying to cope with George going crazy. Where in the remake, she's just being completely bulldozed by the prick that is Ryan Reynolds as George Lutz, and I hate that. But I love this movie. There's a lot to love. I love the what did I say last night? The hardcore full body throwing up.
Yeah.
Like it was like both they're both religious figures threw up like very very hard in the movie after they left the house. That's another thing I almost forgot. I wanted to mention the get out scene with the flies. It's way overdone in the 2005 movie. It's so simple in 1979, and this I think lends itself to the way movies were made in 1979. But there's a few flies in the room, and they just get more and more and more, and then eventually here's a voice go, "Get out," really lightly, and then it's just this kind of a shriek, forceful "Get out," and it's very iconic in my opinion, especially since the tagline is "For God's sakes, get out." Where in this movie, there's millions of flies in the goddamn room, and it says "Get out," and I think it throws the guy across the room. It's like, fuck, why'd they overdo such a great moment? It reminds me again of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. But God, plus there's a cross scene, that whole scene where they see the inverted cross, and of course that's a slide at God, and it's all covered in something that made it black. The whole red room scene. There's so much more to the 1979 film versus the 2005 film. I love it. What are your thoughts? And we'll get to some comments of the 2005 or 1990. I can't talk. 1979 film, and why you don't like it as much.
So I agree with a lot of stuff that you said, uh, particularly the casting of James Brolin and Margot Kidder. Uh, James Brolin is someone who he's like, he's a big guy, and so, and like when he gets into the crazy side, like he's kind of like intimidating and scary. Um, and he's not cracking jokes. That was a little. I do have issues with the 2005 film as well, particularly with Ryan Reynolds' character, um, kind of like having a couple of lines in the final act. Uh, I'll talk about those in a bit, but yeah, the original film is well cast, uh, but for me, the problem I always have with it. So like when I first watched it, it was like in my teenage years. I was renting as many horror films as possible from the video store, And
You mean the good old days, right?
days, yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked it for what it was, but like every single time I try to go rewatch it, I get bored as fuck. Like I don't even get like halfway through the film, and I just like my mind is like wandering to other things. Like I can't focus on it. Um, and there are good moments in it. Like I actually really like the scene too with the window coming down on the kid's hand.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But like, there's just something about that movie that it's like a chore for me to rewatch. I know that's like kind of like blasphemy, and like and another thing too is on top of knowing that it was all just a fucking hoax. Um, all the the religious figures like in the way people are reacting to the house, it just seemed like I don't know. I just thought it was too goofy. Um,
Speaking of chores, sorry.
yeah. No, I mean, unlike Howlin' 3, I think Amityville is a decent movie. It's just one that I can't seem to really get into. Whereas the remake, even though it has tons of flaws, I feel like it's one that I can put on and watch.
You're not much of a supernatural guy, though. Like when it comes to that kind of like ghosts and stuff like that, though. That's not your cup of tea.
Right, exactly. Ghost and like demonic possessions, like I have to, they have to like go hard for me to really kind of enjoy them. So like I'm not a fan of the Conjuring films, really.
Yeah. They got to go hard like guys into your butt. Sorry. So let's look at some of these comments real fast. Age of Film says, I personally believe in the supernatural and demonic. I have had some personal experiences with, well, and so I have had some things too, but I don't know, man. It's a great conversation, in my opinion, to have. I own the original. Come on! You own it! You're killing me. Roland's descent into madness feels more authentic and natural. It's gradual, not sudden and weird like Ryan Reynolds. It's immediate in the remake. He starts being an asshole like almost immediately after they move in. It's like, dude, was he always an asshole? Or like, which I think George in real life was an abusive asshole, from what I've heard. Yeah, what did I say? There were 41 Amityville movies on Tubi right now.
No, I think you said 49.
Was it 49? My lord, and that's not even all of them. Let's see. The remake just didn't do anything to stand out for me or to itself memorable. What it does different isn't good, and what copies is less impactful. Agreed. I think that's a really good way of saying it. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so I have to read small text. That's why I have trouble reading these. I don't know if you knew that or not. Remake was all right, but can't touch the original. Different takes on the same story, each doing their own thing. I can appreciate that the 2005 took a different approach. Oh my, you did? I wrote my own Amityville. What's it called? Because I think all the titles have been taken. There's even an Amityville toilet or some shit like that. So yeah, that's another thing. I know Amityville 79 is slow, but I like that because you kind of get to live in that world a little bit. Everything feels rushed in the 2005 version, and it's only 90 minutes or ish, 90 minutes or so. And I sometimes wonder if they didn't have so many jump cuts and so many jump scares, if it would have been better. But Ryan Reynolds kind of, man, I'm surprised he got any more jobs after this. Honestly, would we if this movie would have been worse? Because a lot of people do actually like this. We did a poll yesterday. I haven't looked at it, but I'll look real fast. Which version of the Amityville Horror do you like better? And let's see, we had not very many votes because Amityville is not as popular as I thought it was. We had 150 exactly votes, and it was 152 votes, 119 to 132. So 78% like Amityville, 79 better. But there's those your few buddies. Did you get people to come vote?
No, I had no idea you were doing it. Remember, not on social media.
I prefer the original because I hated Ryan Reynolds. And there was a part two is the better one. Yes, part two is likely the better film. It's uh it's good. I like part two quite a bit.
Part two is the one that, out of all the one, I haven't seen a lot of them, but out of all the ones I've seen, part two is my favorite of the bunch.
So you've seen the remake, the '79 version, part two, part three, and the Amityville Moon. Am I
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, yowza. Uh, that's
To be
that's
fair,
rough.
though, the Amityville Moon has nothing to do with the house at all.
I don't think any of them do after. Amityville Christmas, fantastic. I also love the setting in the original. It makes the house feel more like a classic. So that's one of the things I should have mentioned. I like the religious aspect, but it's like both two worlds combining the religious aspect and the haunted house into one movie, which I really like. Plus, there's not just Margot Kidder and James Brolin's Kathy Lutz and George Lutz. You also had the priest were played by Rod Steiger, who was a big part of the movie, and the things that were happening to him, the house was affecting him off the property. Where in the 2005 version, George only felt bad when he was in the house. It's like, obviously, get the fuck out of there. I, I always give remakes a chance, but I'm rarely happy about it with the. It feels like Amityville 2 meets Hereditary. Your Christmas one, make that movie. I mean, you won't get in trouble for the title because I mean, I can make Amityville ceiling fan and people like, oh, another Amityville movie's out. Yeah. See, there we go. Seth, that's one to watch. It's about a clock.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
I like that one. It's funny because that was the second one I ever saw. It's about time. So I saw Amityville for the first time around 91, 92, somewhere in there. And one night, late night, they were showing Amityville 1992. It's about time. It's literally called Amityville 1992, Seth. It's
Yeah.
about time. And I watched it, and it doesn't take place in the house. Like I said, post part three, because the house explodes at the end of part three. Uh, things that were in the house at some point, which doesn't make sense because you actually see the house in part four at the very beginning. Because this weird tree-looking lamp thing gets shipped off to somebody's house in I don't know California or something like that, and it's possessed. In Amityville 1992, it's about time. It's a clock, and the clock gets put on this mantelpiece and drills its way into the house and starts like showing the, I guess it would be the Ketchum, whatever his first name is, Joe's whatever his name is, Ketchum.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, there we go. It like what he used to do to the Native Americans, like butcher them and shit. So it's interesting. It's weird. It's definitely an early '90s straight to video type of fun movie that we all kind of grew up with. So that's now don't come at me like, oh, it's terrible. It's not good overall. I just really enjoy it. Yeah, see, I like those movies though. The first I guess four outside the house, three, four outside the house, I like. Okay, so let's talk about. Yeah, he is more of a comedy actor. It's hard to see him play straight. He should be in a Saw movie. Let's talk about the Amityville Horror 2005. And Seth, you're going to lead this one off and tell me what worked for you in this one. And then I will go tell you why I think it sucks.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not a huge fan of the original, so this one doesn't offend me at all. Saw it in the theater. I had a good time watching it. I think it's absolutely loaded with those cheap ass jump scares. There's no way around that. And the babysitter scene is uh, really corny. Um, there's some lines that I don't like in it, but I think overall it's just a watchable film from time to time. Uh, Watching it earlier tonight was the first time I've watched it since I think before even my kids were born.
Oh
Uh,
damn.
yeah, so that was a long time ago. Uh, yeah, I mean it's not the Amityville Horror 2005 is not like uh, one of my absolute favorite horror films, uh, but it's one that I kind of enjoy.
Yeah, I see, and I knew you're not a huge fan of these movies anyway.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it is kind of campy. Yeah, exactly. It's full of 2000s horror cliches
Oh,
and
totally.
remake cliches, and I think that's one of the biggest problem. Let's make the babysitter hot and dumb. It's a scarier, but that'll make it scary. She was, yeah, sure, she was hot because Rachel Nichols is pretty hot, but uh,
It's-
she was an awful person, and they didn't really talk to her almost at all. Kathy and George, you
yeah.
know, like George made some kind of joke like, "Oh, do you need a babysitter now?" or something like that, and
Yeah.
because she's hot, it's like, first of all, it's kind of creepy because I'm assuming she's some kind of teenager or very young, and yeah, I hate that scene because she's awful, and I don't like the boy. His name's Jesse James, I believe, that
Hmm.
plays the elder son. He's kind of an asshole, and he was in something before that where he was an asshole kid.
The butterfly effect.
Was that what it was? He was the brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't like him from the get go. I think casting was extremely poor in this movie. I don't like. They look like a charming family, in my opinion. Like Kathy and George, they're getting ready to move in their new house. Obviously, she loves him, and he seems like he's a good guy, taking on a wife with 3 kids. You know, and that's something. Now, look at these two in contrast. This is the day they go look at the house.
Yeah.
Why aren't they hugging? He already has a scowl, and she just looks lost. You know, like I hate the scene at the beginning of the movie with him waking up and talking to the kid. George,
Oh,
what are you doing to my mom? I just don't like that scene at all. Like they're
yeah.
trying to make him look like a good guy in a small scene, which there's a scene in the original movie where George uh, they show that they don't have a great relationship, the kids and him. When she calls him George, he's like, "Yeah, they called me George. It's better than that Mister Lutz crap." I mean, that shows that it's a new family. They're new to all this, where they try to squeeze in some humanity to make it look like Ryan Reynolds worked well with the kids, and it didn't work for me because I don't know. It never felt genuine. And Ryan Reynolds George Lutz was a complete dickhead the entire fucking movie after they got in that house. Like he didn't devolve into madness and he didn't get worse. He was just a dick all the time. What's wrong with you people? When the girl what was going on with her? I don't remember. When she's like it wasn't when she was up on top of the roof, I don't think. But like he's a dickhead, complete dickhead. And then there are times that he'll be like, "You should watch your fucking kids." It's always cold in here. Like I this is the worst thing I've ever seen Ryan Reynolds act in. I can't even think of anything worse than this. This was his worst ever gig. I don't know if he phoned it in or what, but like he sucked in this movie and he dragged it down. I really really hated all the Jeremiah Ketchum stuff. Like seeing him in the window. Like I get that he was kind of an afterthought in the original movie. I mean, he's brought up that it was built on his house and all that shit, or that was his house. But like they overdid it in this one. Like the scene where George somehow sees him and the blood starts pouring all over him and all that shit. Fucking ridiculous. It's so dumb. It's this over the top middle 2000s stuff that was in my opinion part of the downfall of horror in that time. Even though horror started to come back in the mid 2000s, thanks to movies like High Tension and a different remake, The Hills Have Eyes, which was great. But it's just things like that. Like when the kid goes pee and he's like keeps looking. So you're sitting there, yep, something's gonna happen. We're watching this kid's. It reminded me of that scene in The Sixth Sense when Cole took a piss and a ghost walked past the doorway, and it was kind of that same idea. So you're waiting for that to happen, but it shows up in the mirror. It's the jump scares were so fucking bad. I also hate the invisible demonic pig thing being absent, and it's a little girl in this one. It's Jody, one of the DeFeos, and I believe she was also made up. Like the beginning of the movie, I thought, cool, they're showing what happened to the DeFeos. That's awesome. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like is supposedly Butch was possessed, right? He said he was possessed, and the idea behind this is he's possessed. Why would he say "I love you, Jody" if he's fucking possessed and then shoots her? That was dumb. That took me right out of the movie. I was like, well, he's supposed to be possessed, you know. I mean, I've got a laundry list of reasons why I don't like this. Melissa George is weak. Kathy sucks, but to the very end, when he was holding the axe up to that kid and he's getting ready to kill Jesse James, which I was looking forward to, because one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when he's chopping lumber and has him holding it. Like that's the best scene in the whole movie, in my opinion. I just don't like it. I've hated it for 20 years. And when I watch it, I'm sitting there like, I can't believe that people like this movie. like it's one of those movies to me. Like, I can't believe people like this. And I couldn't wait for it to be over. And I was glad when it was over. I just sat there while it was done to me. Ryan Reynolds sucks in that movie. He's the worst part of it. So let's talk about Ryan Reynolds versus James Brolin, the father of Thanos. Which performance was better to you?
Oh, come on. You know the answer to this one. Clearly James Brolin.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I will say I didn't hate Ryan Reynolds in this. I didn't hate his performance. There was things that I wished that they changed from a writing perspective, like having him say towards the end, "What's wrong with you people?" and "These kids are out of control." Like that was just like dumb. It was bad writing, but I mean, I thought he was okay for the remake. Definitely doesn't have that intimidating factor of James.
No. I like when they come home from the dinner and wipe that stupid look off your face and go to bed. Yeah. Like, oh, dude, could you be more fucking lame?
I do like the part though where she was like, "Is this punishment or torture?" And he goes, "I thought it was meatloaf."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got a little chuckle when I saw that too. But at that point, I was already like, "Oh, this movie's just the worst." I might want to watch the Amityville Moon now, just as a palate cleanser.
Oh my god, you should.
No, I'm not gonna watch the Amityville Moon. I like yesterday. He's like, I'll deep dive into the Amityville movies if you deep dive into them. I've seen all the Howling movies more than once.
Well, I just want us to do a fresh show on all of them.
You just want me to watch all those movies.
Yeah,
I feel like they did. I feel like, in one thing that the Amityville remake did do though, where there's a scene where Kathy goes back to it's in both movies where she, reads about the killings and stuff, but I do like finding more about the history, because one of the things I do like about the original versus that is the friend of George's partner, his business partner, not his sexual partner. She's obviously, and she's got some kind of empathic ability, but she knows about the history of the Ketchum character, and she's the one who gives us that line. But I like that in the remake, Melissa George's Kathy finds it in the town library of all places, that the dark history of that house. But you get to see these engravings of what this fucking guy was like, and she just looks disgusted, But I wish they would have just killed George at that point. Like, why did she just fucking kill him? I mean, she knew that getting him away from the house was the right thing to do. I like the ending of the remake better. Them getting away on the boat. I really like that scene. I like that way better than them driving off in that weird looking van.
I felt like, and I felt like this, like since I saw the remake in the theater, that they should have, went hard with the change and made it so he killed the family. Like
Mm.
that scene where it's the vision of him killing Kathy. Like I wish that was an actual thing that happened in the
Mm.
movie. Like just kind of like fully embrace the fact that uh, it's a fictionalized version of a fictionalized story. Um, and I felt like they should have just went into that direction for the remake.
Went hard in the other direction.
Yeah, everyone dies. Like that would be what I would do.
Yeah. Well, then they can't really use the based on a true story shtick in that.
It
Based on
didn't.
a true story, but not really.
I
I
mean, that
mean,
didn't really stop the Coen brothers from doing it in Fargo.
so it's Lucio Fulci's birthday. Just to remind everybody. Uh, I don't know, man. It's like I feel like the 2000s era had some of the worst remakes of some classic films, and it's like they're mostly from the 70s, I believe. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dawn of the Dead, Halloween, uh, and this, and I only liked one of them. Oh, The Hills Have Eyes as well. Actually, so that makes I like two of them that I can think of. Oh, I guess The Last House on the Left. Lord have mercy. So I don't like the original Last House on the Left, but I don't like the remake either.
I
I
like
remember going to the theater and just being disappointed, remake after remake.
I liked the remake of Last House on the Left. I prefer that one over the original as well.
You're not alone. A lot of people do because our 5-star score for that is higher than the original.
Yeah.
I think part of the original's problem is that Sean Cunningham's attached to it. No, I think part of the original's problem is that it's really like the 2009 version is a movie. You can tell 100%. Some of the actors. I mean, fucking Pinkman's in it from Breaking Bad, but
Yeah.
you recognize some of the actors. And it looks like it's a theatrical movie. The 1972 Wes Craven Sean Cunningham original film looks like a home video in some ways, and
Yeah,
it's rough.
it's
And
like a snuff film. Uh,
yeah, in many
and
ways.
intentionally so by design, and that makes it like a little difficult and uncomfortable to watch. But one thing I do like about both versions is how different they are from each other. I think with the parents getting revenge, which is my favorite part of both of those movies.
John Kreese is in the original from Karate Kid. I think the one other thing about the remake of Amityville, I do think the final act was kind of rushed, and it just became a chase them down scene. The roof stuff was like, how did they not all slip off and fall off the goddamn roof? Like I didn't like the scene where the girls. Yeah, I think I've said enough reasons as to why I don't like Amityville Horror 2009. Of The Last House on the Left was dumber and sleazier. How would that be sleazier? They make a girl pee her pants in the original.
I think the original is definitely sleazier.
Yeah, I mean the original is fucking hard to watch. I don't like it at all. But I remember when I first started really getting into buying DVDs, and I mean DVDs, not getting into buying Blu-rays or anything like that. Best Buy had a sale. I think it was 2003. Yeah, it was the year I met my wife. And they always had a great Halloween sale back in the old days when Best Buy had movies. And it was buy two get one free or some shit like that. So I remember I bought the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, something else, and The Last House on the Left. And I was like, I have to watch this. This is one of those highly regarded horror films that I've never seen. And I remember watching, like, why is this like a legendary horror movie? Is it a legendary horror? You know, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, what do people see in this movie? I hated every second of watching it. The only thing I liked about it was they had the trailer, because this is what DVDs used to do, have special features. But they had the trailer in there. And the trailer had that great "to avoid from fainting," keep repeating, "It's only a movie. It's only a movie." I fucking love that. That was great. That's how you get butts in the seat. Shit like that back in the '70s, and but at the same time, like it helped usher in a whole different, and I don't think it gets the credit for it, but it did help usher in a whole new generation of horror post Psycho and Night of the Living Dead, when it started becoming like anywhere in America this shit could happen, you know, and like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the same way. I think that's the only reason I may appreciate it. Plus, it gave, if not for The Last House on the Left, we may not have an Elm Street movie. We may not have the Friday the 13th movies. So I think that's part of its legacy.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its place in horror history. I own a copy of it on Blu-ray to complete my Wes Craven collection. But it's one that I'll probably never really put in. It'll be on the shelf.
I mean, it's a great movie. If you know, while you're fucking somebody, you can. No, that's actually the opposite. How about the bad guy chick shows her boobs just to show her boobs? That's good stuff. Anytime boobs are shown, that's not a bad thing, unless it's a Hammer film that has a like a 14-year-old girl in it. To the devil a daughter. I'm just saying. It's Natasha Kinski. Yeah. Anyway, I've made somebody pee their pants too, on accident. All right, Seth.
Yeah.
So, so you've seen 4 of these movies. Are you willing to watch any of the other ones?
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't say if I watch all these, because I've seen them. We've talked about them.
Yeah, no,
We talked about how the 5th Howling movie is probably the best one since the first one.
Which is very true.
Yes. Yeah, that's true too. The villains felt original and real. Yeah, Krug was kind of a scary dude.
Well, that's just to go back to that topic real quick. That's what makes. That's why I respect that movie, even though I don't like watching it. Is I think the snuff film sort of like feel to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, it like absolutely the villains were like nasty people and they just felt uh legitimate, you know.
Yeah, and Krug was like watching that movie, and I remember he was a scary dude. Like none of the gang wanted to go up against him or against what he was saying. So yeah, I agree. I wonder if that's a movie Nate would want to talk about on the show sometime. I know it's not his type of movie, but check out the Amityville Terror. So I think I've seen that one. There's one I've seen of these Amityville movies. I can't remember which one it is offhand, but they move into a house and supposedly it's the Amityville house, but it's obviously been remodeled in the 2000s. Like it doesn't look anything like the Amityville house. But let me ask you this: what do you think of? Oh yeah, in the remake, and I don't understand why they did it. They changed the fucking address to 412 Ocean Avenue from 112 Ocean Avenue. I don't understand why they did it. What do you think of that house overall?
In the remake?
The house in general,
Oh,
the Amityville house, the 112 Ocean Avenue.
it's I mean, it's cool. I live there.
Have you seen it recently?
No.
Like they changed the windows near the weird looking whatever those baseball diamond windows.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
rid of those iconic windows.
yeah, they got rid of those in I think the '90s, and now they're just regular windows. But I watched I can't remember who did it. It wasn't my guy Sean Clark, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, but somebody did a filming location for Amityville, and they were actually at the house, which you're actually not allowed to film there. You're actually not allowed on the property because obvious reasons, because they use the real fucking address in the movie. What kind of shit? Why would you do that? It's called the Amityville Horror because it's in Amityville, New York, and they use the actual address, which I believe has changed since the movie was filmed, to like 114 or some not a drastic change. But I love that's one of the things I think when you think about like once I got into horror and being a part of the horror world with the Horror Syndicate in 2016, um, I noticed that the Amityville movies weren't as popular as I thought they might have been, at least the first couple, which was disappointing and still is. I cry about it daily. But no, finding that out, I was a little bummed out that they weren't. But no matter how popular or not popular, everybody knows that house. Everybody knows it's the Amityville house, and it's probably if I asked you to name five iconic horror locations, I think the Amityville house would come up. You know, Seth,
Yeah.
tell him whether or not he should watch Amityville 3D.
I don't know. Maybe watch like the first like 10 or 15 minutes of it. I felt like Amityville 3D actually, like when I first put it on, I was like, what are people talking about? I'm kind of digging what they're setting up, and then it just completely just dumpster
Yeah,
fire.
and I feel like there's a lot of charm early on in that movie. You're like, I
Yeah,
kind of like this, and then by the last 20 minutes for sure, it's like, ooh, he gets got a young Lori
yeah.
Loughlin, the
Those are,
felon, Meg Ryan,
yep, yep,
William Catt, or something like that, with his big afro.
yep.
It's not terrible, but it's not anything like the second or first movie.
It just
Uh,
takes a big nosedive, despite having actually. I felt like it had quite a bit of potential at the very start, particularly when you're having a lead character be such a skeptic.
yeah,
You know,
which I like that. It's don't give it a shot. Amityville 2 probably, if you rank them, is the best overall. I even say that Amityville 2 is it's a prequel kinda, but it could also play off as a sequel. It's the Montelli family, not the DeFeos, but it's clearly the DeFeos. Because you got Burt Ward, who does he play abusive in all of his movies? Because I mean, he always beat up his sister Adrian, but he's an abusive father or Italian like the DeFeos, and the son turns and kills them all. But they play up the possession thing a lot, and then the whole third act revolves around Sonny, the son, instead of Butch. What a nickname! Uh, and they play up the whole him being possessed thing, and there's this exorcism scene at the end of the movie. I like that though. It takes like fact kind of, and they add their own kind of twist to it, which I really like. The Awakening, which I mentioned last week a little bit, which came out in 2017 with Bella Thorne, isn't bad. It's not great. It's also on Tubi. It's definitely one I would check out. Obviously they were the Montellis. There's some questionable things about the second movie though, like the incest, for instance. The first time
yeah,
I saw it, it was cut for TV, so they just skip right over that whole scene where he's reveals the panties, and they obviously get down. Uh, Seeing it on DVD for the first time, I was like, oh, Diane Franklin, you naughty little dog, having sex with your brother,
it
Lord.
was weird. That was a weird scene, very
Yeah,
weird. But otherwise, I do like the fact that Amityville 2 uh, was really kind of taking inspiration from the DeFeo story.
hmm
Um, and I just felt like it was overall a better movie. But it's been a while since I've seen it. Maybe I should just like start marathoning through them.
To see the thing with you is you do that. So a lot of times you'll start with one and just go for it. And
Yeah.
I think, oh, you take what further in Amityville Christmas? Incest? I mean, it is Christmas. Families are together, and it's a time for giving and sharing. Um,
I thought Christmas only came once a year.
That's funny. I said that to a customer. There's this customer that comes into the bank, and he says every time he's like, "See you at Christmas." And so he came in twice yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I thought Christmas only came once a year." And he looked at me and says, "What?" I'm like, "Don't you remember you say that? You ever see the fucking tomorrow is not now? Which one is that?
The world is not enough.
The world is not enough." Okay. I get the other than Goldeneye. No, that's just the middle two. I get mixed up.
Tomorrow never dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies, and yeah, The World Is Not. I get those two mixed up for some reason.
Yeah.
Because you've got Goldeneye, such a great fucking movie, and then whatever, what is it called? Now I can't think of it. Die Another Day? No, the fuck is it called?
The fourth Brosnan
The
one.
fourth Brosnan movie.
Yeah, Die Another Day.
Die Another Day. Okay, what's the last one called? No Time to
That's
Die.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
he only
I was
did
getting
4.
the names mixed up because the fucking Bond names are like chaos. But
Yeah.
yeah, so you got a great movie in Goldeneye and then Die Another Day. Sandwiched in the middle are two pretty decent movies that I can't remember which one. I know which ones they are, but the names I can't remember which is which because the names don't really fucking matter for the most part.
Yeah,
I know the second or the third one is got Christmas in it, and then the second one, which I actually really like, The World Is Not Enough, a lot. I think it's the second best of the Brosnan movies. So they just went downhill, in my opinion. Although I do like the third one as well. Just that fourth one.
Well, the third one is The World Is Not Enough.
Well, the other way around then.
Yeah. So you're saying you like Tomorrow Never Dies better than The
Yes.
World Is Not Enough.
God, see, that's the problem with these fucking titles, man.
I mean, I actually agree with that ranking. GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day.
Yeah, I do. I will say, my favorite opening song is "The World Is Not Enough," Garbage, or Shirley Manson. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Great opening sequence too.
Did you see the comment?
Yep.
I heard him say "fucking" today.
Oh boy, watch your fucking
That
mouth.
fucking sucks. I grew up in a house where my mom wouldn't allow us to curse. Of course, I do it like crazy now. That's all I do. I say fuck. I should start counting. Let me say, like, get a counter, a clicker. Oh, fuck, 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 fuckity, fuck, 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 fuck. But like I say it a lot. But my mom, I never said it in front of my mom, and I told them I was like, I don't want to hear you guys cuss ever. And I got home. He didn't know I was there, and he's playing video games upstairs. And he's like, "That fucking sucks," or something like that. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh." It was funny. It's Gears of It's Gears of War's fault.
Foul mouth little fucker.
Yeah. I mean, it's a given. He's gonna cuss. Everybody in this world just about cusses. The World Is Not Enough is the second best Brosnan film. Okay, that's fair. Real fast, since we're off Amityville, Seth, how do you rank? What's his name? The last Bond. I can't think of it. Roger.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah. What is wrong with me? I can't remember anything today. Roger. Why was I going to call him Roger? Roger Moore. I'm thinking of Roger Moore. That's my guy.
Yeah, Roger Moore's great. The Daniel Craig ones, like, I don't know. I would probably go. My number one would be Casino Royale.
Obviously.
My number two would probably be Skyfall, even though I got problems.
Ooh, okay.
My number three would be first half of No Time to Die. My number four would probably be Quantum of Solace. My number five would be Spectre.
I would have Quantum of Solace would be my number two. then Skyfall. I like Skyfall, but I think it's a little bit overrated. And
Mm,
then No Time to Die, then Spectre. I like Quantum of Solace. I don't know why, but I really like that movie. I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the villains. They're very forgettable,
yeah, yeah.
but there's I don't know something about it that I really like. I don't know. Maybe I was still on a high from Casino Royale when it came out, but even so, when I do Bondsmiths and I get to oh, I know why I was calling him Roger. There was a football player named Roger Craig that played for the 49ers in the 80s. He wore number 33. That's why I
Uh,
was going to call
uh,
Daniel Craig, Roger Craig. Anyway, um, yeah. So anytime I get to the Craig movies, I I really enjoy watching the first three a lot. So
yeah.
yeah, because the first three are great.
Well,
Because
Quantum has been kind of growing on me over the last couple years, but like I still hate the way that film is edited,
yeah,
and um, um, the villain Dominic Green wasn't really anything memorable, and
right.
you can't take his fucking henchman seriously with his Lloyd Christmas haircut. So it's yeah, like there's some decent stuff in there. It's just like it's hard to tell with some of the action at points because of the way the film is edited. Um,
I just think it's a little underrated. Um, I don't know. I just really like that. I like the Bond girl also. Uh,
yeah,
she's not she's not great, but was it Olga Kurilenko? What? How do you say her name? Kurilenko.
yeah, I can't remember.
And then of course Strawberry Fields is
Yep.
in the movie forever. Yeah, it's good. I haven't done a ranking of the Bond movies in a while. I completely missed Bondsmith last year. I only got to watch. I didn't get past Connery. I know that.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I last time I went to marathon the films, I got up to what was it? You only live twice.
Hmm. So yeah, just if anybody wonders, I do this thing every, except for last year, every holiday season where I start on December 1st and watch a Bonds movie every night, and I call it Bondsmas. And Seth took part in Bondsmas last year,
Hmm.
so it's I've grew up on Bond. I remember back in the early '90s, TBS, the Superstation, used to do movies for guys who like movies or some shit like that, and it was 7 days of James Bond. And of course, this was before. I think the last movie at that point was the second Timothy Dalton movie,
Uh,
License to Kill,
yep.
or that was the first one.
Nope, that's the second one.
That's the second one, yeah.
The Living Daylights was his first.
Living Daylights is awesome. Both of those movies
I
are
love.
underrated.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
Dalton was great.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Dalton was awesome.
yeah,
Uh, I hate that he was replaced, although I did like Brosnan. I love Pierce Brosnan in general as an actor, but
yeah.
he was great as Dr. Fate, by the way. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
One of the, if not the best thing of the Black Adam movie was
Totally.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yep.
Means James Gunn, bring him back. So, uh, but yeah, like I've I've done this every year. Like I don't watch Bond throughout the year. I wait till Christmas time for some reason, and it started with Skyfall in 2013 when I started doing this because I went and tracked down the DVD or the Blu-ray copies, each individual copy, because Best Buy was selling them two for $15 on Blu-ray. And this is like early in my Blu-ray collecting days, and I was able to get all of them because they all had Skyfall tickets in them. So I saw Skyfall like 5 or 6 times for free because of buying the Blu-rays. You remember those good old days when you buy a movie, like, oh,
Yeah.
you get a movie ticket. So yeah, because of course I had to get 2 tickets, one for me and one for Elizabeth, my wife. So we saw Skyfall like 5 or 6 times, legit. But that year, because I think Skyfall came out in November, I wanted to rewatch all the Bond movies, and she was working a lot that year, like into the night. So me and Reynolds would sit there and watch all the Bond movies. He was only like 3 or 4 years old at the time, and he still remembers. Well, I don't know if he still does. I'd have to ask him. Let me go ask him while he says fuck again. But watching the Bond movies, I started with Doctor No, of course, and went all the way up until at the time would have been Quantum of Solace, and I've been doing it every year since.
So like I watch them like periodically throughout the year, but I definitely watch them in December. It seems like there's been like this tradition over the last several years where there'll be at least like one Saturday, like mid December, that we'll take a trip to this bookstore that's a little ways up north, and we'll do some Christmas shopping there. And then when we come home, I put on a Bond movie and we wrap presents. Like
Yes.
it seems like that's like our tradition.
The
Like
funny thing is,
I tried showing her the one Christmas Bond movie, Under Majesty's Secret Service, but I don't think she really cared for that one. Even though,
so the funny thing is, like, we would do the same thing, and almost every year, the Bond movie we would be on by time it was time to wrap presents was A View to a Kill. I don't know why, but like I have mad memories of wrapping presents to A View to a Kill, like for years.
the theme song is great. I don't care what anyone says. I love
No, the
this.
theme song, it's Duran Duran, man.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal. That's one of, if I ever ranked it, I should rank the theme songs. But if I ever do, obviously Doctor No doesn't really have one.
yeah.
You know, but it's the regular theme. But if I ever had to rank them, that's top five for me. So is
Mhm.
The World Is Not Enough. And I love No Time to Die. That the Billie Eilish song, it's fucking phenomenal. Number one is it's one and two would be probably Casino Royale, You Know My Name, Chris
Yep.
Cornell, and then probably Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney.
That song's awesome.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's such a badass like Bond theme.
Mm-hmm. And it leads into one of my favorite movies. So
Yeah,
I know it's campy in some scenes, and you got that stupid cop guy and all that shit. But like Mr. Big, come on, it's a good. Come on, don't. Between that and The Man with the Golden Gun, those are like my two favorite Bond movies.
I know.
Like I think I think there's something to this, and we've talked about this before. Generally, my favorites are movies that I saw first, and those were the first two I ever remember seeing. So because they were on TBS, and my stepdad's like, "Oh, you want to watch Live and Let Die?" And I was like, "Oh, is that?" I know that Guns N' Roses song because Guns N' Roses did it on Use Your Illusions, And he's like, "Oh no, Paul McCartney did it." I'm like, "Bitch, please." And then he's like, "No, just watch it with me." So I sat there and watched it. They played the song. I was like, first of all, I was mystified by that intro because the intros are so cool to the Bond movies,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And then you get into the movie, and I'm like, he's got these gadgets. Just a cool movie, and plus, how fucking cheeky Roger Moore is. He's the best. He's not the best, but I love Roger Moore.
He's one of my favorites. Like
Yeah,
he's very charismatic.
yes, that's one of the things I love about him. He's so smooth. But I think Connery's probably the best. Overall, we lost all of our viewers talking about Bond.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, it's not the James Bond channel, so that's okay.
That's true. We can't
Yeah,
help
but
it.
we get
Families.
into it sometimes, and we got to talk Bond for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has. I didn't get to partake in Bondsmith this year, so man, I've been just depressed this last like year and a half since I left Home Depot. I have not been happy. So, Ichi, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Anyway, so what do you think? Amityville 79 or 05? You're still gonna say 05? You like better?
I will say that 79 is probably the better movie, but of the two, 05 is the one I can actually get through. I tried watching 79 last night, and I just got to a point where I was like, whatever, and I focused on uh, writing the document, and I was kind of like in and out of watching it. I don't know, just 79 is just kind of a movie that kind of bores me. Not to offend you, because I know you like it.
Problem is, I'm going to take the document, print it out, and shred it without ever reading it.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, I sure showed you by you not seeing what I'm doing. Anyway, that's the show. We're gonna call it for the night. We got way off topic, of course, with talking about James Bond, as we do. I'm sure after Superman comes out in July, we will stray way off topic on whatever show we do that week, the week after, because we will not be doing a show on the 9th, I guess it is.
The 8th?
The 8th, because you will be there. Oh yeah, that's right, because Friday's the 11th, and I got my tickets for the 10th. And it's stupid. Oh, it comes out on the 11th, but really it comes out on the 10th. But really, if you're a Prime member, it comes out on the 8th. Ooh.
Dude, you're gonna want to like completely like stay off of social media. I think just schedule posts ahead of time.
I think I'm gonna try to see if there are any tickets left for that Prime. I don't know if it's even playing here, but there's a document going around the social media space from Snyderverse fans on how to fuck up everybody's viewing. First of all, share spoilers. Don't go. You know, they have like 3 things that you can do to fucking ruin this movie. It's like, why are you being like this? It's like, this is not going to bring back Henry Cavill as Superman. This is not going to make James Gunn like, oh, I guess since my movie failed at the box office. James Gunn even said this is not the make or break movie of the DCU. He said that this week. But it's like, why bother and put so much energy into hate? Give it a shot. Henry Cavill's gone as Superman. He's gone. It's over. The Snyderverse is not coming back. The Snyderverse was a fucking mess, and I like those movies.
Yeah, I like them. It's not coming back at all. Like even if James Gunn's film fails, it's they're not bringing back Snyder. They're not bringing back Cavill.
No, it's over.
And
get over
it. To be honest with you, I was a big advocate for Cavill for a long time. I was bummed out that he wasn't able to return. But now I'm just feeling like he is completely overrated as an actor in general. People act like he's the greatest actor in the world. Not really the case. He looks the part of Superman, never really showed the personality of the character. You still there, or did you freeze?
No, Helena messaged me. She's not here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of it. Like, we have what we have. It was a mess. And really, you know who you have to blame for that? Yourself and Zack Snyder. I mean, like and you know, of course he was dead at this point, but when Brandon Routh replaced Christopher Reeve in his own series, nobody bitched and moaned like that I knew of about that. And I get maybe it was because Christopher Reeve was dead, but
but that's the weird thing, right? It's like so many actors have played this character before. We've had Kirk Allen, George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, what's his name? There's
Dean Cain, Gerard Christopher.
Who's the first season guy?
I don't remember his name offhand.
Yeah, so there was another guy from Superboy, but you know, then you had
Tom Welling,
Brandon Routh, Tyler Hoechlin. Like, so many people have played this character before. It's a character that will be played even after Corn Sweat.
Well, and even so, Cavill's not the last person to fucking play Superman. No. It was Tyler Hoechlin. God, yep. I mean, did they boycott?
I have to say, Hoechlin is one of the best actors to play Superman.
I can't really comment on that. He still looks odd to me. Like he's got a tiny head.
He doesn't like resemble Superman appearance wise, but he gets the character. He nails the character personality wise. Like he can be like tough and badass when he needs to, but then he can also be, the Clark Kent that like his performance just really sold me because I wasn't sold on him at first, especially when I saw stuff from like Supergirl. I was like, I don't know about this guy, but Superman and Lois completely won me over with him, and he's my third favorite Superman.
Yeah, I'd like to watch the show. He really, to me, he looks more like a teen wolf. I like him as as an actor in general. I was watching a movie called Everybody Wants Some with him, and it's a baseball movie. Takes place in the early '80s. He's a good actor, and the times I did see him play Superman, which was mostly in Supergirl, those crossovers. I mean, he was pretty decent. But it also didn't help seeing the Crisis event where he had to stand close to Tom Welling and Brandon Routh, and he's a shrimp compared to both of those guys.
Yeah.
That didn't help. It's like, can we get Brandon Routh back, please? And then there's the other thing. Where were people bitching when Brandon Routh got recast by Henry Cavill?
Oh yeah.
Like, nobody was complaining about that shit. I don't understand this Snyder Bro thing at all.
No, I don't get it either.
And this is a guy who's going to sit here and tell you straight up that Batman v Superman is one of my favorite comic book movies ever. It is. I've said that numerous times. Batman Returns is probably my favorite, and Watchmen's probably right there too. So I like the Snyder movies. I even liked fucking The Flash, which most people hate. I saw through its flaws and enjoyed myself. Blue Beetle was good. Black Adam was okay, but like I was all on board with all this stuff. But I also have a reasonable mind for the most part and realize it's over. It's way past over.
Yeah.
It is. It's Henry Cavill really hasn't played Superman since Justice League in 2016. I know he was in that scene in the Black Adam movie, but that was like 5 seconds. Like I don't even know he was wearing the full costume. Honestly, he could have been just wearing the top part.
He's probably just freeballing it.
Yeah, he might have been. His dick may have been hanging out. But yeah, it's these guys. I don't get why they're so fucking butthurt over the end of this, and like they're starting to attack James Gunn and call him a pedophile again. It's like,
oh yeah,
come on.
I am so glad I don't have social media anymore.
Yeah, this one guy was like, I was like, I just wish people would give this a chance, go see it. If they don't like it, cool. But why are you attacking a movie that hasn't come out yet? And this guy's like, so you support a pedophile? I was like,
yeah.
Wow, he's just got a dumb sense of humor.
Yep.
But
I'm seeing it on Tuesday the 8th, and then I'm seeing it again on Thursday the 10th, and then that weekend I'm gonna take Amber to go see it against her will.
Yeah, I think I'd like to. I'm debating on getting a second. Nate posted it here. It says, "Stand up and fight for Snyderverse on July 11th. Fight for Snyderverse on the Imposter Superman release day. Here's what we can do to make a difference. Number 1, post spoilers everywhere. People are less likely to see or enjoy the movie if it's already spoiled. 2, leave a bad rating on review sites. We know for sure Gunbots will post fake positive reviews, so we must let people know the truth and balance the bias out with realistic score. Number 3, reserve tickets online, but don't complete the purchase. By selecting and reserving tickets, it gets taken out of the pool for a period of time, which means this has a chance of stopping Gunbots from buying tickets. Gun, by the way, with one N, fired the first shot by and killed the Snyderverse, and here's our chance to take the fight back to him. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. If we can, if we can't have our Superman, no one can.
Like anytime I go to
this sounds like some Trump supporter bullshit. I'm just gonna say that.
Anytime like I go to get like a ticket from like Regal or whatever, there's like literally like a countdown, and like if you don't like complete the thing within a certain period of time, it'll just automatically refresh. It doesn't reserve that seat for you.
some Trump supporter bill. Like, I need to post this on my page. This is fucking ridiculous. I'm trying not to say the word retarded, or anything like that because I hate it. But that's exactly what it is.
Oh, it
These
is
fucking
retarded.
Snyder fans doing this shit. This is so dumb.
Well, they make actual Zack Snyder fans look bad. Like
They do.
people like me and you have been defending like the DCEU for so long now against the haters, right? Like I can recognize, hey, Man of Steel doesn't get everything right, but I love that movie, right? Like it doesn't fully understand the character that I love, but I look at it from an Elseworlds perspective. Um, I've defended Batman vs Superman very strongly against my little brother, very heatedly, I would say. Um, so we've been there. We both fought for these movies, and they're like all these ignorant little fucktards. They're just like making Snyder fans, like people who like the director and his visual style.
Mm-hmm.
They're just making all of us look bad by being petty.
I'm posting it on my Facebook. It says I like the Snyderverse, and I have been an apologist for this DCEU, but it is over, and the Snyderverse, in quotes, is not coming back. This will not help your cause. It only makes you look like a buffoon.
It's true.
Stop being ignorant.
Yeah.
Cavill wasn't even the best version of Superman.
Nope. I don't know if Cavill even is my top 5. Because I would go Christopher Reeve. He'll always be my favorite Superman. Then I got to go with George Reeves because, God damn it, he was the manliest Superman in the world. My number 3 is Tyler Hoechlin, the most underrated Superman. My number 4... who is my number 4? Maybe... I mean, I know people will give me shit if I say Wellen, because he didn't play the character, but he did. He just didn't wear the suit. But I think Wellen is really good at both sides of the character, I think. Baron Routh is underrated.
He is. He's probably my number 2.
Behind,
I like that a lot.
behind Christopher.
And, well, I mean, he never got a fair shot at all.
Yeah, no. No, he didn't. He got a kind of a piss poor movie.
Yeah. I just watched it the other day. Yeah. Stop being ignorant. Cavill wasn't even the best version of Superman. Snyder's vision was a dark Last Jedi Luke view on Superman. I will say I do love BVS very much, and I wanted more Affleck as Batman, but it is over.
It's completely over. And that's the thing. The failure of the new one isn't going to bring back...
No.
It's not going to make Warner bring back the old people.
That's not how things work.
No, it'll just make the financial crisis at Warner Brothers even worse, and it'll be a long time before we get another Superman movie, and it's going to be completely recast, new actor, new director, writer, producer.
If these people are fans of Superman at all, give it a chance, go watch it, and forget about the Snyderverse. I mean, you can complain about it after, but that's exactly what Seth said. Is if this fails, we're doomed to not see a Superman movie for a very long time.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it's going to fail. I
don't think so either. I have a lot of hope for it. I'm going to watch the box office returns because, and James Gunn said again, this isn't the end all be all of the DCU. If this flops, it's not going to be the end of it because Supergirl is on its way as well, and they just changed the title of that to Supergirl.
Yep.
And then Clayface, they just cast the lead actor in that to play Matt Hagen. So there's.
And Lanterns. They've been filming Lanterns.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other things happening. So if Superman doesn't hit, he's got 3 other, 3 other bullets in his barrel.
But here's a good sign though, is that when my little brother was looking for tickets for the Tuesday show, the Prime exclusive one,
Mhm.
he looked at 4 different theaters and they were all practically sold out. But he found us seats in the IMAX screening. So
I'm gonna look again right now, as a matter of fact, to see if, because I am a Prime member.
yeah, I don't know the process. If it was like simple, if you like, I don't know.
Let's see. Log in with Amazon. Ugh, I don't even know my Amazon password. I wonder if I can just do it from the Amazon app. Yeah, see? You got the navy blue.
Mm. Nice. I'm gonna have to get a new one because I stained it.
Ooh, Batman Beyond on Blu-ray is on sale for $24.99 on Amazon. Did you ever watch Justice League?
No.
Dude, fuck. Don't watch Amityville. Watch that shit.
Okay.
That's awesome. I just started it again. I love it.
Like, I don't know, like probably a few weeks ago, I stopped, but I was literally rewatching the George Reeves Superman show again and um, Superman and Lois. I was like kind of like going back and forth between rewatching both of those.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this. So, we should probably just get off here now. There are 5 people watching us. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Amityville 1979.
Yeah, it's great fun. We're getting Superman tickets. Blah blah blah. I do have tickets for the Thursday show for sure, though. And Reynolds definitely wants me to get the other tickets, so I gotta figure out a way. I should gonna. I don't know what my fucking password is for Prime. Because I'd love to see it early.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Buy Prime early tickets. Come on, motherfucker. I'll try that later. All right, 7 people now. Wow. Anything anybody wants to say before we go? Because we're gonna go and talk about the document for a minute. Let's fucking log in with Amazon Prime shit.
Yeah, so we started with Amityville. We then segued into Bond. And then we got into Superman. Am I understanding the timeline correctly?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. 707. Now I'm trying to get earlier Superman tickets.
Yes.
This is bullshit. So it is playing at my local theater, but I can't buy through the local theater app. Oh man, I can't get tickets.
Oh, really?
Yep. There are not 2 seats together.
So it's sold out.
Yeah. Basically.
It's fucking excellent.
Not for me.
No, I know, but I mean, technically, that's great news, right?
Yeah. Were they regular price?
I think so. My brother paid a little bit more because for IMAX. So
Here's another theater near me. Basically sold out.
yeah, see, yeah.
Let me see here. I'm going to try one more theater by me. It says select up to 20.
Maybe those.
Oh, these are all the Snyderverse bros reserving
Right,
it. So
right. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
reserving seats without
Those
paying
fucking
for it.
fuckers.
That's how that works.
God damn, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I didn't know
Shit.
that. I didn't know that you could like not pay for a seat and still reserve it. That's pretty interesting. Completely sold out.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent. That's what I like to see. I mean, it sucks for you, but
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to wait. There's the Ronnies. That's not that far from me. I mean, I could go by myself, but I don't. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's 4 theaters. This is great.
mm-hmm.
It's not great for. I'm gonna have to stay off social media for a couple of days,
Yes.
but
And I have to go a couple days without like talking to you about it.
yeah, I don't want to talk to you until I see it.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about
Anything. Like I don't
the
want to say anything.
document.
I don't
We're
even
not.
want to give you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way I won't be able to see this until the day I got tickets for.
Yep.
Which I'm curious to see if like I'm looking at a theater about 45 minutes with nope. This is good news. How much are the seats? That's my question. Oh, $17. Damn. These aren't the cheap ones. So these are all like sold out. We're talking 17, $19 for this one. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I just looked at 8 theaters and they're basically sold out. At average about $18 a ticket. I mean, I wonder how many seats are in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12. It's about 20 rows. So it's 120. This theater here has about, and it's the smaller one. It's got about 140 seats, and they're sold out at $18 a pop. I mean, that's $2,500 for that. So that's over 8 theaters in my area. At $2,500 a pop, that's $25,000 on one night in 8 theaters. That's not bad.
Yeah. No, not bad at all.
Yeah, I think we're looking at. I think we're. I don't. I'm not going to say a billion. I think it's going to make about 850 million is what I'm thinking. I want this movie to be a beacon of hope and want to put butts in seats because that's one I love going to the theater and not just that I may go see 28 weeks later or 28 years later this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know Nate said he's going to go see it. He's like, did we do a 28 day weeks later show? I was like, yes. Don't you remember? I do. All right, we're gonna go. It's been about 40 minutes of us not talking about Amityville, so. That's what you can expect with the Horror Syndicate. I mean, we got our fucking Justice League shirts on, yo.
It's Batman v Superman right
Batman
here.
v Superman. Let's go, Snyder Bros. Do you notice that my Batman shirt has a Joker smile?
Yes.
2 eyes and a. I just thought it was faded, but my wife's like, "That's a Joker smile." I'm like, "How? What do you mean?" Oh, okay, I get it now. Seth, guess how many Batman shirts I have?
27 3/4.
It's funny you say 27 because of Detective Comics. But no, I not that many. Now you make me feel like I can't even tell you now because it's nothing even close to that. Like make me feel bad about myself. I need to get my Batman game up.
I mean, I only got 5 Superman shirts.
Oh, I have this one, 2 that have just the like this but solid.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 Dark Knight shirts from the Dark Knight. So in 2007 they showed us a clip from the Dark Knight in Chicago at Wizard World because they were filming it while we were there. I got to see the scene where they're
Yep.
whatever, yeah, ziplining. Yeah, I actually saw that being filmed. But so I got 3 of those shirts and 2 other Dark Knight shirts my wife bought me, and then I've got I've got the Batman Earth, not Earth 2. What is it? fuck is it called? Flashpoint shirt, you know. And I think 12 is what I've got. 12 different Batman shirts. Because I got some with Batman actually on the shirt. I don't like shirts like that generally.
Yeah.
Reynolds has a bunch of Batman shirts too. I'm down to one Superman shirt. Now two with the new other one coming. My Kingdom Come shirt's my only Superman shirt. Reynolds took all my other ones. So I was tempted to buy just a classic Silver Age, Superman shirt today too. But I'm gonna wait and see because I got a size that I don't know if it's gonna fit me or not for that one. So if that fits me, then I'll get the classic one because I need a classic Superman shirt. But I used to have the Connor Kent shirt, the black one with the red S. I used to have that, which now Reynolds has. I used to have the Kingdom Come shirt. I had to buy a new one because mine got worn out. Of course, come on.
Yeah, mine's getting worn out too.
Yeah, I had a classic one, and I had a classic S with it was a navy blue shirt, which I had never seen before. I was like, oh, I gotta buy this. So I have a few. Yeah, so I'm excited for Superman,
Yes.
and that's where we're gonna end the show. What's your excitement level, 1 to 10, on Superman? Leave it in the comments, and you tell me, Seth.
It's clearly a 2. No, it's 10.
It's 10 for me too. So can't come soon enough.